Welcome to Warblock. This is a video 5 of the Qantara and Al Firdan scenario. I did actually start it and then I realised that my computer was still going slow and I've restarted my computer. So let's see whether that actually has any effect. The only difference is I committed one of these air units to attacking this hex here. So we'll be able to see, because one of the artillery was at 0.5, the other one was at 0. With regards to that, 0.5, 2.2, so that was the one. I did an attack and then I restarted the computer. So let's just see whether this makes a difference. Not really. Firefox updated itself as well. So .5. The bonus is we're getting some of these other units. .7 against that artillery piece. It's definitely having a hard time doing the simplest of things. When is it finished? So it puts him at that's like a 12% chance of routing on that occasion. Okay. There's a 10% chance of him routing now as well, so it does cascade. This is why you can only ever get 4 units. It will show more. So this one's probably not been hit because he's at the bottom. This is why this guy's not got as much damage. 2.8, 4.5. Well, he has. Look at that, 4.5. Oh, that was tight. No effect on everything. Well, we're not going to route that artillery unit now. But we might get that one at 30% chance. Quarter strength. Well, he's now at 10. He's at 4.7. seemed to make much difference. It was at 3/4 strength. He still inflicted quite a bit of damage. So what more can we do? We're going to have to face this armour soon, so the thing to do would be to sort of really try and eliminate as much as we can. Two depressions, 0, 3.3, 4. It's going to be really difficult. With him there, so I want to split this lot up, but I want to sort of maximize the movement, so hopefully this will win. And then we can move afterwards, hopefully. Need a DR. The thing is, I've got an old IBM laptop. I mean, this is a Lenovo, and the other one's a Lenovo, so I've got an old Lenovo. They were sort of running Windows 8 or something and got upgraded to Windows 10. And it's fine, you know? And then you get this brand new 20GB Lenovo machine. It can't handle a simple form request. Okay. Get upset with that. You know, this isn't complex code. I mean, the megabyte size is it's quite low. It's the browser that's having a problem building it. Whether that's the computer or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, 2.1, 6.3. So now the question is, what do we leave these units looking like? So I definitely want to split them up, putting 2 into here, and then attack into there. I could have attacked into that one, but I really want to sort of pound these units here. It could be the wireless Wi-Fi connection. Well, we eliminated one of them. Their edge will soon wane. I'd like to get a second attack, but we can't move. We don't have the movement. And I don't want to break that line. It would be nice if it was the other way around. We could have gone against that stack. So that's that section done. Here, and back to that. He's a depression 8. I'll leave him to recover. Just because he's a unit, he's not going to do any damage. So here, let's see if we can do some damage against this stack. I would really like to play this again. I'm tempted, you know. Tempted. At least the first few turns. With a decent connection. I just can't decide why it's getting so slow, and I'm aware that watching the videos again will probably just long monologue of me complaining about the speed. And it's not a great advert, but it's unusual. I think I'm gonna next thing I do. I don't want to try this thing that I got here. Oh, look at that! We got something. It's nice. Okay. That'll give me another 10%, but make me a little weaker. And that will give me another 10%. No point in moving him. DR. That could have been much better. Well, that gives us a nice little protective cove there. Here, we might even be able to rejoin these units. Look at that, they start to make their way back to friendly lines. And here, what can we do? 3 depressions, 0, 2. What we want to do here, it's the 77th, isn't it? It's almost 50%. So what we really need to do is take some casualties somewhere. Well, he's at 8 minus, he's about 6. Could get maybe a 3-to-1 against him. Oh, look at that. 12. See, he can't get there, can he? The thing is, it's high quality, but it's just not enough of it. Seven, 4, 2. So we could move in there and attack. Or we could just sit there and attack that. I think I'd rather put some more pressure on that. Okay, so we removed one of them, which is the objective really. And that's the Israeli tURN, pretty much. That was an exchange, was it? No, I didn't realise that. What was that? An exchange 2-to-1, that's not good. Okay, so end tURN. Yep, the Egyptians are getting more reinforcements. Air power wise, I think they can use air power on this stack here. Or what about up here? 2.7, 2.6, 0.8. Could do some damage against that. So artillery, we got him range. He's at 10.4. Let's see what damage he does at 10.4, what the odds are. Because I mean, basically he should be at 0. Yeah, that's what I suspect. I'll have to look into that. I think it'll always say 1-0 odds. Losing the edge. Thing is, I've played plenty of other games on this computer in this exact same situation and position, and it's never been like this. It's really annoying me. And the only thing I can really align it to is this constant updates. It's sort of like, you know, they try to say, oh, things are getting faster and programs are getting more demanding, and in particular they're talking about their propaganda channels, you know, like CNN, BBC and things like that, eating up more and more resources. But it's not. I mean, this doesn't use a lot of resources. You know, I could play this on a machine 10 years ago and it would be the same. Look at that. I think the Israelis are sort of pretty much on the way out. Why did he rout? 195. Why did he rout? Oh no, he was the 77th, wasn't he? Okay, that's a little more acceptable. So we targeted these. We've targeted, oh, look how slow that is. Targeted these. So we've probably got some more artillery that can get into this lot here. So let's pound that. And then we've got our air power. Actually, I'm going to put it on pause for 1 minute. Okay, well, let's, what are we doing here? Let's get some artillery. See what happens this time. Yeah, put it on pause. See if this gets any better. It's a bizarre setup I got really, because I've got now my old router that I used to have before I got my stupid other router, and the notes I got here are like from 12 years ago, and so I'm using like my old broadband connection from years ago, so I'm not using this wired thing, but I've got this dongle that's a sort of Cat5 and a USB, but the laptop's not picking it up, so it's, the Wi-Fi antenna is probably less than 12 inches away from this laptop. Right. Well, air power on that, I think. Yep. I definitely think I'm going to call this quits after this. I mean, the Israeli forces aren't going to be able to withstand much more of this. They don't have the volume. The further connectivity issues starting to drive me around the bend. But this thing has more like a firewall thing. Now that's supposed to be good for connections, and yeah, I think I might leave it at that. I'd like to play this again, and this is sort of set up as my gaming position at the moment. I could very easily do it from my main computer. But I don't want to. I want to get this thing sorted so that it's working. So I can have a seamless play without getting frustrated between turns. Because once all this anti-tank and armour comes across the Suez, that's definitely going to be the end of it. And what's happened is runs with the history. I mean, that's what happened. They bought their armour up in, they bought armoured elements up in support, made a little bit of head ground, but were basically repulsed. So it was an Egyptian success, obviously, at this up to this stage. So we're not doing well there now. Let's see what we got here. We need to clear that hex out. He's available, so we'll clear that hex of mines, in theory. Yeah, there's only one mine in there, so clear that. So we've got the bridgehead sort of clear now. So let's just move these elements out. Move him out. And he's available as well. No, well, we can't do it anyway. So this armour's ready to go over. Okay. Well, that's things sort of moving in the right direction, but there just isn't the volume to deal with all these units. And the air power is not really going to be effective enough, I don't think. Well, let's build a bridge to the northwest. Okay, I think what we're going to do is the Egyptians here is to fall back, not because we're falling back, just to sort of reinforce this line. You know, this sort of pseudo retreat is, I think, fairly reasonable in the light of what you might do. really enjoying this game. I mean, in the sense that I think it's just got so much sort of potential to it. Despite the frustration, it seems to me the sort of thing where I could play this a few more times. With not necessarily varied results, but varying results based on decisions that you make. For example, how you commit your air power as the Israeli reinforcement air power, how you commit your reserves and your reinforcements, and how you fortify your line. Because the Egyptian player doesn't have it easy, they've got to go through these minefields. And historically what they did, they started off with a barrage. That artillery has really taken a pounding, and he's still alive. So it's like 71% rout. Well, they should wipe him out. Doesn't wipe me out first. Okay, he's gone. Okay, that leaves the the Egyptians with this front here. Okay, and do we want to attack up here? Possibly, definitely against this stack. Still remarkably unscathed. I mean, a lot of it comes down to reflection. And I was just thinking, what else could I have done? And obviously I had the reinforcements, and I chose to sort of, set up a sort of front line, but I could have done two things that are different, slightly differently. See that? I'm not going to do any more games turns after this. But I could have just stayed around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out of range of their artillery, thus freeing my air power to do something else. So I've tried to push them forward into the range of the artillery, and that's been devastating to some extent. And secondly, I could have, instead of pushing them forward, I could have pushed them and created a sort of just one kind of, I could have just held a front line like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe taking these artillery pieces out. Instead of pushing them forward. I'm going to leave it at that. It's another 50 minutes. I'm not going to do another one because I don't see any sort of scope for the game changing now. I mean, there's just too many Egyptian units with heavy reinforcements and anti-tank with massive losses. There's nothing on the board anymore. But again, I do think it could be really different if played again. And I have made some changes, not very many. But yeah, definitely replayable, I think. And I'm also going to try and sort out my Wi-Fi or my network connection. I apologise if it's frustrating to listen to a video where I spend most of it complaining about my network connection, but it's not usually like that, and it's not usually like that on this laptop. So, as I've tried to demonstrate a number of times. Okay, I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.